Hey, what's up, hodlers? Let's talk about what's happening in crypto world today. In terms of pricing news, nothing new. You have Bitcoin still gyrating between its lower high in the mid 30,000 range and its recent all-time high of 42,000. So it's still finding a foothold in between there. And you have ETH making some good gains, making a run at 2,700. So the big news is Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, which came under attack. So this is not Bitcoin, the actual Bitcoin most people know. It's a completely separate blockchain. It's Bitcoin Satoshi's Vision, also known as BSV. So again, very controversial, founded by Craig Wright back during the block size wars in 2016, 2017, I believe, where there were arguments about, so Bitcoin has a very clear restriction on the block size. They set it at 1 MB. So, and the argument is that this allows a normal person with a regular laptop to run a single node, and they can independently verify all of the transactions on the Bitcoin network. Now, there's a scaling problem with that, which a lot of people disagreed with back during the block size wars, and there were discussions about adjusting the block size. And BSV, under Craig Wright, they went their separate ways, started their own entirely separate blockchain or protocol, where I think they increased the block size to 130 megabytes or so. Now, many years later, it's very clear who the winner and who the loser is. So the market has spoken, and if you compare Bitcoin's market cap to the BSV market cap, I mean, there's no question there. BSV is a tiny, tiny fraction of the Bitcoin market cap, and that's also part of the problem. So because they're a very tiny network, they're susceptible to all kinds of hacks and attacks. It's happened multiple times, and most recently now it's just happened yesterday, where they came under attack and suffered it says here, suffered a massive 51% attack. So 51% just meaning that if an entity has more than 51% of the hash power or the computing power of a network, you can play all kinds of games with it. So it says here Bitcoin BSV reportedly suffered a massive 51% attack beginning at around 11:46 a.m. East Coast time, and this resulted in up to 3 versions of the chain being mined simultaneously. And I think the hackers were also making transactions at the same time. So this is typical. You have 3 different ledgers. Now you don't know which is the original. You don't know which are the fakes. This is clearly a problem when you're susceptible to attacks, and someone can generate more than 50% of the hash rate power, as was the case here. They can pretty much act at will and double spend and play all kinds of shenanigans. So this happened for over 3 hours, where attackers were able to take over the chain. All exchanges that received BSV deposits during this time might have been double spent. So yeah, obviously a huge problem now in the industry. BSV, and these are not my words, because especially Craig Wright, very famous for suing people that say anything negative, but some people say it's a scam, as at this point it seems very unclear what the value proposition is. At the time, back in 16, 17, maybe they had an argument, but by now it's just very unclear. So here you can actually see the price of BSV, and what's very surprising to me is that it's actually held up pretty well. I mean, obviously it hasn't really, you had a slight bump here with the entire crypto market taking a rocket back in April or May to the upside, and since then it's held pretty steady here. I mean, especially given that, as said, it's come under attack repeatedly, especially now with the double spend problem and exchanges not knowing whether the Bitcoin that are being deposited or the BSV coins being deposited are even real. So they're getting delisted now from exchanges as well, just because the security of the network is just severely compromised. So again, not my words. I let you decide. A lot of people call this useless or a scam, and I found quite interesting. So Craig Wright, the founder of BSV, he also claims to be the actual Satoshi Nakamoto, so the founder of the original Bitcoin protocol, which, to say the least, is heavily sort of criticized, or has come under a lot of scrutiny, to say the least. So anyway, enough about BSV. Speaking of Nakamoto, so there was this article yesterday of saying that the SEC chairman Gary Ginsler, so the head of the SEC, basically, who's actually a pretty smart guy. He teaches MIT. I think he even teaches a cryptocurrency course at MIT. So he definitely he knows his stuff, and he's been quoted as saying that Nakamoto, so Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder, the anonymous founder of Bitcoin, his innovation is real. So it says here that Gary Ginsler, chair of the United States Securities Exchange, the SEC, believes that the blockchain revolution started by Satoshi Nakamoto back in 2008 is more than just a fad, but a real value proposition for the future of the internet. So basically confirming that they see Bitcoin as potentially an additional layer to the internet of money, and that, and he's quoted as saying here again, in that work, referring to his work, maybe at MIT, I'm not sure, in that work, I came to believe that though there was a lot of hype masquerading as reality in the crypto field, Nakamoto's innovation is real. And he also says that I really do think that there's something real about the distributed ledger technology moving value on the internet. So probably these are the kindest words I've heard from any regulator so far. And finally, there's some fun news here. So you have Backed Holdings, which used to be a financial futures trading platform. They're now also looking to get into the crypto space. So they started their own wallet and payment system. At least they launched the pilot version of these, and they partnered with Quiznos, which, for those of you that know, is a sandwich business, so similar to what Subway does. And if you're in Denver, Colorado, and you download one of these backed wallets, you can actually use Bitcoin to pay for subs or sandwiches. So pretty cool. So thank you, everyone. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.